What's up, everybody? It's Joe from Empire Music, empiremusic.com in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We are one of only 20 worldwide Martin custom shop expert dealers and one of only 5 Martin online preferred partners, bringing you the greatest guitars from Martin every day. Check out empiremusic.com, see our entire selection of Martin and Martin custom shop guitars. Always know you're never getting a stock photo. You can see the exact guitar you're going to get. Know that we're doing full pro setups on everything we sell, dialing every guitar into factory spec, making sure it's the best playing experience possible. We always want your trade-ins, and we only carry a handful of brands. We carry them super deep. So not only are we going to get you a great Martin guitar, we're going to get you the right one, which we're really, really proud of. And man, this could be the right one for a lot of you. Part of our 2025 Martin Custom Shop exclusive launch, Empire Music is proud to present our D-28 Custom Shop with Adirondack top, Honduran Rosewood back and sides in a beautiful 1935 Sunburst. Only making 5 of these bad boys. We go to the factory every year. We have a wood locker there. We go to the factory multiple times a year. My wife's family's right near Nazareth, and we're out there and just consistently out there getting cool woods, designing cool guitars. But basically once a year we go out and do a big launch, and we design tons of guitars. And last July, Justin and I went out and we picked 99 wood sets to build 99 custom shop guitars, and they're just starting to arrive. So really, really excited about that. A huge part of our story this year is Honduran Rosewood. Honduran Rosewood from Central America. It is in the vein of, if you're, a modern guitar player, you play East Indian Rosewood, right? And that's the modern guitar. And since the late 60s with Martin, that's been kind of their go-to choice based on import laws and all those things and availability compared to Brazilian. In Central America, you're Brazilian, Guatemalan, Honduran, all of these woods, they're Central American, a little bit more dense, more vocal, more overtones, more clarity. And we bought every piece of Honduran they had. It was a really exciting day because when we got out there, it had just been cured and prepared, and they didn't even really have it in the system yet. And they said, we do have some Honduran. Got pretty stoked, and we built a fair amount of guitars across different platforms you can see on the site. Another big part of our relationship with Martin is, since we were out there, we were, in 2024, we were able to consistently work with them on their specs, and we were able to apply the golden era package to this guitar. So we'll talk about all those specs that are built into here. But what we basically did is we gave you a tried and true D-28 Adirondack Spruce top, very powerful, strong, tons of overtones, massive headroom, an absolute banjo killer. This thing just rips. I mean, there's just, if you are looking for that classic, close your eyes, what does a D-28 sound like? Adirondack top is where it's at. Extremely powerful, tons of note separation, tons of sparkle, and this will hang in any scenario. The end. I mean, I don't have to really kind of go on and on about that. The Honduran is really, really beautiful. We hand selected all the sets. And what's important about the custom shop, and something that kind of gets overlooked, is, sometimes the wood, it's beautiful and you buy it because it's beautiful, and that's exciting. What's really, really important to know is Martin is broadly known as having the most incredible wood vault of all time. I mean, they have their wood sourcing due to their longevity and really modernizing, musical instruments for steel string guitars specifically. They are the godfather there. They've had a long history with wood suppliers and wood sourcing, and they get the most incredible wood in the world. From there, when they receive that wood, they sort it, and they source wood just for the custom shop out of their selection, choosing the best woods. And yes, that then gets separated out. Then it gets sorted for shapes. And I can't stress this enough. I've been at guitar factories I've been to Gibson, I've been to Taylor, I've been to Martin. And anytime you're doing acoustic guitars, you feel the flex of a piece of wood, specifically the backs and sides, really. You'll notice that the most is that you go, oh, this one is a little bit more taut. It should be a double O. Oh, this one's got a little bit more flex to it. It could be a dreadnought. It could be a jumbo. They're sourcing those woods specifically for the custom shop, and then they're dialing them in by body shape. It's a total maximization of the instrument, and this cannot go unspoken because just the ingredients doesn't make the meal, right? I can buy all the ingredients. You can buy all the ingredients. If one of us can cook and one of us can't, we don't know how to apply techniques, we're going to end up having 2 different experiences. So it's not just a spec sheet. It's how that spec sheet is applied. Then the guitar is built in the custom shop by a special team of the most experienced luthiers there, giving you the best possible experience. So you have the Adirondack top, hyper powerful, right? Just incredible. Then you have the Honduran Rosewood. It's got a lot more woodiness to it, where I noticed the biggest difference on Honduran Rosewood compared to East Indian Rosewood is East Indian is lower register, your E, A, and D. When you're strumming open chords there, the East Indians were kind of throaty and more muddled for sure. Whereas here you get tons of note separation. I mean, you get all that boom, but you don't get any of the kind of like the mush. A lot more clarity, amazing for playing live, amazing for recording because the notes are more vocal. Really, really, and that's like the sound that people chase from the pre-war Martin guitars, right? What they're chasing is that. They're chasing the boom with the clarity. So you have all that here. The Honduran is also more woody. And now, if you've ever worked with me on a guitar, adjectives, to me, it's just like an opinion. We've all got them, right? And we can all apply them individually. You hear sparkly, I hear bright at the end, right? We can't really, it's not a totally objective experience. What I can tell you, though, is when you play this guitar, it's got a more percussive, more responsive experience, more damping. So you get way more overtones out of this instrument. It responds to you as a player more. It's just you can feel that woodiness to it, and players love that. I mean, we definitely don't build these guitars because no one's chased this down before. I mean, this is what people have asked for. So we're really excited to get that to you. So then how do we design the guitar internally? What's the structure of the instrument to make sure that these beautiful tone woods that are very high level are maximized, right? Golden Era bracing package. So we have Golden Era bracing with 5/16 inch scallop brace. What's that mean for us? That gives us a ton of flex, a ton of power, a ton of output. It's letting the guitar move a ton. We're getting clarity from the 5/16, a little bit thicker, but then we're scalloping it deeper in the Golden Era so you get the boom. So everything works here is a counterbalance, right? We want the power, but we don't want mush. We go 5/16, we scallop, we get both effects perfectly. Additionally, we got the authentic fingerboard thickness, so we get true authentic fingerboard thickness. We get the Golden Era neck profile, which is a very modern feeling, comfortable neck profile, sleek but not too thin for sure, definitely not chunky. Ebony fingerboard and bridge, open back Grover tuners, the sleek heel, so they've reduced this heel recently here, so you don't have a big clunky heel at the back of the neck. You have the neck flute here on the headstock, so very cool diamond, big long diamond in the back, and we have the tried and true nut now cut on the angle of the headstock as opposed to flat, increasing our kind of like our string, the smoothness of our string, give us a little bit more sustain. So we've thought all that stuff through. We worked really hard with Martin over the years of understanding historically their bracing packages and what worked for the sonic experience that they were trying to derive. What's really cool about Martin, because they're truly owned by the Martin family, right? Never been sold, is that they've done, and it's wild, in the custom shop, they could do 180 different bracing packages. So they can go back to any era and dial up a sound if we're trying to accomplish it. So with them, and the Golden Era bracing is one of the most popular one we've used regularly, and now is, you'll see in the standard line as part of their standard series refresh, they brought that forward, and you get this incredible amount of response, breathiness, warmth, power that wasn't available in a standard X series forward shifted bracing. So definitely a more mature experience. Beautiful hard shell case with this is included. This is not the plastic hard case. This has the wooden case, arch top. It's 5 latches. I mean, it's a really, really beautiful high-end hard case with it. And then we did, like I said, just 5 with the 1935 Sunburst. These Sunburst finishes, only 2 people shoot Sunburst at all in Martin's factory. The hand-doneness of these guitars is sometimes understandable because they're a global brand and you don't really think much of it. But if you went there and you saw lacquer finish, burst top, I mean, a really rare, gorgeous guitar. So now if you watch the instruments, reviews that I do, I like to do 2 things: dynamic range and the mids of the guitar. Dynamic range, typically when I'm doing one of these is kind of like a foregone conclusion. The dynamic range on this guitar is nuts. I mean, it's just, if anything, we have to worry about kind of like it breaking up through your speakers and your phone or headphones. I mean, it's a really, really powerful guitar. A place for concern when we're designing these guitars is how are the mids going to sound. With Rosewood, we always know we get extra bass extra treble, reduced mids, right? I always say, I look back to my 1992 Corsica 3-band EQ, bass up, treble up, mids down, right? And it's just like that. That's the effect of Rosewood, right? But when you're doing it right, what we're gonna get here is we're gonna get that bass, but we're not gonna lose clarity. The mids are gonna be elevated by the 5/16" scallop bracing, so we should have more mids. And then the top end is gonna be warmer because we're going with a deeper scallop brace. So it shouldn't be so jangly. It's gonna have sparkle, but no jangle. It'll have bass, but no mush. And the mid should be lively. So we'll see if we accomplish this on this guy. But let's do dynamic range, then that, and then we'll reconvene. Hyper powerful, you can tell it. What stands out is kind of like there's always an opportunity, and sometimes it doesn't happen. Sometimes the guitar just does what you think it's going to do. And then there's times like this where it's like, where this guitar is a little surprising, is when you play it quietly strumming, it still's got like this body to it that I think is profound and really, really exciting. So if you like to play and sing, and you're not always opening up and playing a ton, you're going to have the ability to surround yourself with an accompaniment instrument that has character while quiet. It's just not quiet. We all know that kind of like, you know, the guitar amp you have, your twin, and you have it down on 1 because you don't want to wake your neighbors, and it just doesn't sound right. It sounds thin, but it's quiet, and that's disappointing. And then you don't really get the true tone until you push it. Well, here you're kind of getting that opposite effect. You're getting the tone right away, and that's an amazing bracing package with higher grade woods. They're thinner and more resonant, and you get all the experience in a lighter touch. So, and I think that kind of pairs back, if you think about what I said about the Honduran, like, you want to feel the responsiveness of the wood. You want to feel your playing impact how the guitar responds, right? We don't want to have the guitar play us. So I say we play the guitar doesn't play us. If the guitar's playing us, we're doing it. We bought the wrong guitar, right? So we want to make sure that we're able to inflect any type of playing style through our pick attack and have that respond through the guitar and get a positive outcome if we can. Here, you had all that body. If you go back and listen to that part, it's just like, it's pretty incredible, like how much character the guitar has with a light touch. Also, I thought the mids sound really good on this, but where I thought the mids kind of shined in a surprising factor was in the strumming. You know, Rosewood guitars always have more bass and treble. If it didn't, it wouldn't be Rosewood, right? So we want that sound. We want that top end sparkle, which it very beautifully has. That like a little bit of snap to it that lets you cut through other sounds. Like that's what we're chasing, right? But when we're strumming that open G chord and that open C chord, all those notes are heard in there. It's really, really great. And then obviously when you come up the neck and you play through it, it shines. It's a well thought out design, if I do say so myself. It's just like, I think we prepared for the obstacle that might be the case of we're losing clarity. So how do we combat that? So we put a great bracing package together with the right tone woods. But where it stood out is in the strumming. I think that's where it's just like where it's, at least to me, was most noticeable, because that's the place it could fail the easiest, right? If it was going to end up being a little bit sludgy, that's where you would be, you'd lose the voice in your strumming, and I think it stood out admirably. So new at the time of filming here, it's spring of 2025. We're just launching our 2025 Martin Custom Shop collection. This is the D-28 Adirondack top, Honduran Rosewood back and sides, in a 1935 sunburst, only 5 made, so super rare. Reach out to us here at Empire. Go to empiremusic.com. Check out the site. You can chat with us there. All the photos of every guitar is there, You'll have a 5-digit code in the title that will alert you to the last 5 digits of the serial number, so you can give us a shout. Chat with us on the site to talk specifically about it. We always are taking trade-ins. Most importantly, we're going to find you the right guitar, because there are a huge selection of the brands that we believe in. And then when you select the guitar from us, we're going to dial it in. It's something, I think, our selection and our knowledge we're known for, but the way the guitars are delivered in the end, Matt pro packs them, and Aaron and Joe dial in the guitars to make sure they feel unbelievable, and you're getting the best playing guitar. So you're not just getting a guitar that's made well, you're getting the best experience of that guitar dialed totally for the best playing, maximization, easiest playing experience, and that's what we're always delivering. So reach out to the shop, 412-343-5299. Hit us up about anything Martin guitars. We do it all. We dial everyone in no matter what. So Little Martin through custom shop guitars, we're going to give you an incredible experience. We'll hit you up. Hit us with our trades. We have a trade-in portal right on the site. Get you fixed up. This is the Martin Custom Shop D-28 Adirondack top, Honduran back and sides with the 1935 Sunburst Empire Music spec for 2025. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Thanks so much for watching.